Hello traders, today is Monday, September 16th, 2024. I'm going to go over 11 names today. As per usual, I just want to let you know this is not financial advice. Please make your own or do your own research and due diligence before you decide to invest your capital on any kind of equities or investments. This content is for educational purposes or entertainment purposes, whatever fits you best. I'm going to start today with Apple. And we got news today, I think it was before opening, that pre-orders for the new iPhone 16 are lower than expected. And the stock was down over 3% at one point today, and then it actually recovered on this area right here, on this level, and it ended up closing over this, what it was at one point, support level at 215. That's the support level. It closed today at 216.3. If we go to the 1 minute chart, you can see again there was a very similar setup to what we had last week as well. You dropped significantly in the beginning of the trading session, and then you recovered, and then you had all this, I guess, peaks and valleys that sometimes makes it difficult to trade. I did day trade Apple. I knew this was going to tank, and I actually had a pretty decent entry and exit. I did, and no, I'm sorry, my exit wasn't as good, but my entry was pretty good. I actually got somewhere around here, right in this area on the MACD. And then I did ride this move all the way to this level right here. The reason why I'm saying my exit wasn't the best is because it was pretty obvious that we were a little bit extended on this area, and I should have gotten out right under the 200 SMA or right past the 200 SMA. I didn't. I did ride this a little sell-off that we had during the day, and then somewhere around 8:30 or so, I got out right after I saw the price approaching the 200 SMA. Anyways, what I see on the 1 day chart, we can take it in a lot of different ways. I do believe that we have a possible double top here. It is pretty obvious. And we are under the 35 SMA. If this continues to go down, we are gonna get to 207 easily, and then we might bounce and go back. However, this week we have news, or we have a catalyst, which is on Wednesday, and we're gonna see what the Fed is gonna decide to do with interest rates. To be honest, I have no idea how the market is gonna react. I don't know if they are gonna go 0.5 or 0.25. If they go 0.50, in my personal view, it's going to be bad for the market. That would signal that the Fed is knows that it's reacting a little bit too late, and the economy is already in jeopardy of really having a serious downturn. If you go 25, it might be better news, in my opinion. So it would be better if we do it gradually rather than going a little bit faster. Now, there is some Democratic Congress people asking for 0.75. But that also tells you the lack of that is basically, in my opinion, mostly political, that really anything to do with knowledge of how or the consequences of what would happen in that case. Anyways, we'll see what happens on Wednesday. Keep an eye on 215 on Apple. I do believe if we break this level with any kind of volume or momentum, 207 is going to come. And maybe you should be ready for that move. MACD and TSI are not looking great, to be honest. RSI is looking really bad. So there is definitely room to go down to 207. And in that case, be prepared to take advantage of those moves. Let's move on to another name that is looking interesting. And it had a session that is Affirm. Let's go with Affirm. And it really had an interesting session. You already have another double top. I was at the end of last month, I was saying right after earnings, I was saying that this was extended and it's probably going to go down and start filling the gap. The gap was right here where this dotted line is. And then it filled the gap all the way down to this resistance support level at 35. Now we have a double top. I wouldn't be surprised and this name is going to start going down again. I guess the first level that we have to take a look at is 39.3. And then we can assess once we meet the 200 SMA. But in my opinion, this is probably going to continue going down. The MACD and TSI are looking extended, and it would be better if we see some signs of exhaustion in this area, which we are not. But if we go, let's go to the 5 minute, and let's get rid of the after hours. So you started right here. Where are you? Yeah, 16. And it kind of lost momentum. I think it was up somewhere around 1%. But right here, you can see that it hit this level right here once, twice, went down, and it tried to recover at the end of the trading session. But I think this is going to continue going down. I wouldn't be surprised. Let me make a note. I will take some puts on this name for this week. Definitely my expiration date won't be for this week, but I would probably play this to the downside. It's looking that way. The MACD compared to historical moves is not that extended, I would say, but it's still extended. So just be cautious on these areas. If we break this resistance level, which I doubt is going to happen in the next few sessions, I could be wrong, but I think that if we break 47 or 45, you're definitely going to go towards 49 easily. You don't have a lot of liquidity on this area. Yeah, you do have a lot of liquidity here. So we'll see what happens. I'm just going to wait a little bit. I want to see how this is going to react tomorrow, and based upon that, I will maybe take some positions, some puts especially on this name. But if this continues going up, I'm just gonna wait until it gets even more extended, and then I will take another a position to the downside. And that's what I have for Affirm for now. And let's take a look at this. Let's do Bitcoin. And give me 1 second. What I said, I think I did say this yesterday, is that if you break this level right here, which is 59.7 with momentum, you are going to continue going up towards 64, give or take, which is where you're going to meet the 65, the 200 SMA. However, that didn't happen. You didn't. I also mentioned the 35 SMA. If you break the 35 SMA, you're going down to 57. We were almost there at one point, but I do believe that we're not out of the woods. I think that if we don't bounce on this level, 52 is coming, not 54. A lot of people are talking about 54. I don't believe that. Last time when we were in this area, right here, I was saying, if you break 57, you're going to 52. That actually happened. The reason why is because I was taking this level right here that goes back to this area that actually had a decent amount of consolidation on the daily chart. And then I draw this line and actually kind of give you this level right here, which is with this wick right here. And then you had this reaction right here that actually went down all the way to, and that's probably August 5th, I would guess, to 49. Let's see. Correct. And then it went back up. So that was my support level. It did bounce at 52. So again, I do believe if we break 57, we're going down all the way down again to 52. And if that is the case, then this level would become even stronger, and it will probably bounce back towards 57 and who knows where else afterwards. But I do believe that we're still on a downtrend. If you're zooming out, you can see that there's still a little bit of a downtrend. If you see these levels right here on these candles, you're going down, the same on the top. So we might continue going down. We'll see what happens here. but just keep an eye on this 57 level. If we break, I think we're going to 52. 54 is not a level for me, not right now. That's what I have for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at another name that I think is very extended, and that would be Cava. And what I'm seeing here is something that I think I mentioned Cava. Yes, I did Cava yesterday as well. So today we were down, I think, at 1.2%, and then this recovered very nicely. Let's go to the 1 minute and take a look. It actually did. So you went down in the beginning of the at open, and then you went up. You actually came back down to this level. This is a 1 minute chart, so don't care much about levels on the 1 minute. Let's take a look at the 5 minute. So this makes a little more sense. So you had this level right here, and then you're going up, and then you bounce off the 200 SMA, went down under the 35, and that was it. Now you're mounting the 35. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But I do believe that Cava is a candidate for a short or to buy puts. Right now, this is a neutral candle. I guess buyers and sellers are still undecisive for now. So we'll see if you mount this level, just in my opinion, if you want to go short, just let it go. But there's definitely a little bit of consolidation here. You can also argue that this is more of an exhaustion than consolidation. We can argue that. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. There might be opportunity here to the downside, but for now, I would just wait and see how this develops. Again, if you break 126, well, you're gonna just continue going up. There might be some momentum, but if not, you're going straight down to 110. There might be an opportunity there, or you're probably gonna fill this gap as well. Just wait a little bit. I think Cava is another name that you wanna have in your short list. Let's move on to, I did buy more of this today, and we'll see. It is green now, so I did get Google, and it is looking good. I think there's definitely opportunity here. I think, as I was saying yesterday, the market, in my opinion, is a shit show, but it's also a shit show every time. So that shouldn't actually deter us from looking for setups or something, or some positions that might make sense. I do believe that having Google this low at 148 was a little bit of an overkill as far as the selling area comes, but now we're over the 156 or 157 resistance, but we're having difficulties going over the 200 SMA. That could be problematic. We'll see what happens tomorrow. The MACD and the TSI, they're just meeting the signal line. Again, there's a little bit of indecision in my opinion right here, but I think if we mount the 200 SMA, we are definitely going to go towards 64. No problem. I wouldn't be too concerned about the 35 SMA. I think we just go continue going towards the 164 level. Now let's move on to another name that is looking interesting. It was down today, and that is HIMS. So for HIMS, what I think is happening is I think we need a little bit more of momentum in this name. I still like the setup, I'm not gonna lie. What could happen is what I said in the past for Amazon, and there was a couple of other names that I was talking about, the fact that sometimes you end up in range between the 200 SMA and the 35 SMA. That could happen. Definitely a level to keep an eye on, which is a very stubborn level, as you can see in this area, is the 15.3 level. Keep an eye on that. You couldn't mount the 35 SMA today. You were down 1.75%, which is also not bad, in my opinion. I like to see a little bit of red on the way up. Every time I see all green, you're going to have the same opposite reaction at one point. So I prefer seeing these kind of moves that have a little bit of red, that is not high on volume. This move wasn't that high on volume, so I'm not too worried about it. The MACD and the TSI, they're still pointing up towards the zero line. The the histogram is still green, it's still looking good. RSI is looking down, but I wouldn't be too worried about it. Let's go down to, just for giggles, let's take a look at this. Yeah, I'm not, I think that there is definitely room for HIMS to continue going up. Yet I do believe that I would still move with caution. I think that HIMS, well, it depends how you want to see your trading. As far as how I like to trade, I take positions or swings that I'm not going to hold for more than 2 weeks. I mean, 2 weeks is probably my limit. And most of the times I sell my positions the next day or 2 or 3 days later. It is very rare for me to keep something for 2 weeks or so. Even, normally if I hit 50% on my positions, on my options, I just get out. Even if the name continues to run, 50% is where I take my money. Or if I see weakness, I take my money out. So let's say if I had a position on HIMS right now, and let's say if I enter somewhere in this area, today would have been the day that I'm selling because I'm seeing a little weakness. That being said, that is just my style of trading. I think bigger picture, we do have definitely an opportunity to go towards 18 and 21. I think there is room for HIMS to continue going up. Another factor that maybe we can consider, at least in this area, is that you have a big volume shelf right here. If you break this area, you're really going to go with more ease towards 18.7. If you are an investor who wants to hold HIMS as a long-term position, I guess what my thought behind it would be just having a defined price target for my exit, and that would be it. Normally I like to trade like that. There's only one position in which I'm gonna hold for a few years, and that is Tesla. But other than that, if I was to hold, let's say, HIMS for a long term, I would probably get out with a price target, and that is what most people are going to suggest, is have an exit price target. And if it's 20, that's fine. If it's 30, that's fine. Then if it's that, just let it run, just let it move. I wouldn't be too worried about it. I like HIMS. I like what I see here for the next few weeks. We'll see what happens again on Wednesday. That's definitely a catalyst for the entire market, but just based upon what I'm seeing on candles, I like the fact that you have a little red right here. It would be actually optimal if you retest 15, 30, and then you go back up. That would be fantastic. So that's what I have for HIMS. Good luck if you're in it. I was looking at JPMorgan, so let's do that. And I was looking at this name, and one of the things that I noticed is that this sector is starting to move up again. We'll see what happens. I personally don't want to get into any of these positions, especially the financial sector, until probably Thursday. It will give you a better picture of where things are going. But if you go to Bank of America, to the chart of Bank of America, Citi, Wells Fargo, XLF, you're going to see that there is a little bit of a curling towards, especially in these indicators, and the MACD and the TSI, they're curling towards a positive direction. That is good. There is definitely opportunity, and I think it's going to leave me behind if I don't take action, but I'm okay with it because I don't like the uncertainty that Wednesday is going to bring. So I don't want to put any positions. I was thinking about buying any, like Bank of America or something, which I'm familiar with Bank of America and how to trade that name, but the other side of me was like, well, Wednesday is going to be volatile, or this whole week might be volatile. I'd rather be hands off and just wait at least until Thursday. And if I say this all the time, if I lose the move, or if I miss the move, I'm okay missing it because I know another setup is going to come around. I mean, that is not really, I don't lose any sleep for that. But anyways, right now you are on top of resistance or support at 206. I do believe again that this sector is starting to get a little bit of steam. This candle right here for JPMorgan was a little bit of an overkill, was a reaction to news, and that normally happens. And what I think is, and this is going to recover very easily. The reason why, you really have low liquidity in this area from 206 to 217. If you want to play this name, there is opportunity to the upside here. Just be cautious. Again, your next resistance level is going to be the 35 SMA, not 217. I would take the 35 SMA, which at this point you can argue that is a good point of resistance, considering that you have these candles here. And this is probably going to meet that if it goes up, the 35 SMA somewhere in this area right here, 210 or 211. Anyways, that's what I have for JPMorgan. Let's move on to another name that, at least when I was looking at it, was doing pretty good, and it did. So Meta was performing quite decently today. And if you look at the chart, are we gonna hit all-time highs again soon? Probably. Let's put a level here in case we're seeing a double top or a formation of a triple top. But so far, is looking great. I think I mentioned Meta about a week ago or so, and I was saying I changed. Yeah, I'm using a different notebook because yeah, so this is a new notebook, so I don't have my notes on Meta. But what I know about Meta, or what I said, is that you had this level right here, the 35 SMA. Sometimes you can use that as a resistance point. Or support in this case, and you did bounce out of this, and now you're moving nicely towards 553, which is a level that I use put on this. It looks good, in my opinion. Looks good. You have this, I mean, it's not bad, it's not a lot of liquidity, it's not little liquidity, so there's gonna be movements here. Don't be surprised that by the end of the week you are at all-time highs. That would be nuts. And look at this move. Like, Meta has been behaving in such an amazing manner since probably 2003, no, 2022. Yeah, 2003. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I had a long-term position on Meta, and I got out, I think, at 340 or something. I don't feel bad about it. I mean, I think about it and it's like, well, why did I leave? But look at this move. We are at almost all-time highs again. Meta, definitely interesting. Nothing that I want to day trade. It's not a name that I'm very good at day trading. But long term, it actually pays off very well, and you can see it on the chart. So for now, just keep an eye on the support level at 523. And I think if you hit or mount, obviously, if you mount 553, you're running. You're going to continue to run. Let's really hope for a little bit of a choppiness here. I always say that, and then a continuation, but we'll see. It might actually break with momentum. Let's move on to Microsoft. And I was looking at Microsoft this morning, and I think it got a little choppy. Let's go to the 5 minute because I don't want to. Again, let's get rid of this. Trading hours. Okay, so yeah, it had a nice run in the beginning of the day, and then it went down. It kind of had this curl right here, got to this resistance level, got rejected, excuse me, and just broke over it. We'll see how it looks on the 1 day chart. Yeah, you didn't break. It tried, and now you have this candle right here that actually didn't make it towards or break the 431 resistance. I do like the behavior of the 35 SMA, the behavior of the 35 SMA, and the behavior of the 200 SMA. MACD and TSI are also looking good. I think if we get any volume or momentum for the whole trading session tomorrow, it's going to be interesting. We'll see how the market reacts, but you know, I could be wrong, but something tells me that the market is either going to be neutral or the market is just going to move higher, unless the Fed cuts, 50 or 75. That would be crazy. But yeah, just keep an eye on this resistance level, 431. And then after that, you really don't have a lot of liquidity here. So this is going to move again. I still like Microsoft, and this is what I was saying, I think, when I was talking about HIMS. You know, that sometimes you end up in range between the 35 and the 200 SMA. I've noticed that a lot. Amazon had a similar setup, and what I was saying, if it breaks in any of these directions, it's just gonna move, you know, in a kind of like violent matter. And it happened to Amazon too. I think Amazon was right today anyways. But anyways, keep an eye on this 431 level. If you break, there is gonna be fireworks. I do like Microsoft, to be honest. I was gonna get in today, but I went with Google instead. Let's talk about NQ, and you know, we are not really. Oh, look where we are. Then I was looking at the wrong candle when I was. So look at this. We're right on the 19.7. I think if we break this level, we're bullish. And it looks like it, you know, MACD and TSI are looking okay. The RSI is also looking good. This tiny candle right here is definitely, you couldn't break resistance, but I think that's fine. Look at this. How boring. Just flat. But it was up 1.2%. Anyways, this is looking good. If we break 19.7, I think we're just moving. And I was saying that last week, right when we were in this area, I was like, we're bouncing out of this level right here at 18.7. But what I was also saying, we're not going to be out of the woods until we break 19.7. I still believe that if we break this level, we're definitely going to run towards 20,000 and maybe a full continuation breaking that resistance level. So I think a good indicator for us would be breaking 19.7 on the NQ, and then we're going to move. Now, let's do one last name that I was shorting in the past. I got out, and I think I'm going to get back in, and that is Starbucks. So a couple of weeks back, I was, let me see if this, no. I was in this name. I was when we were right here, and I like this type of setups, especially when the MACD and the TSI behave pretty much in the same manner. It happens often, to be honest, but sometimes gives you other kinds of signals. But when I see this kind of stuff, I get excited because I see the opportunity here to go short or to go long, depending, you know, if we're on the other side of the zero line. In this case, in my opinion, we were a little bit overextended after some news. I think these news were because of the new CEO that was coming from Chipotle to Starbucks. That was whatever, great. But now you still have this this issue, in my opinion, that you're still a little bit overextended. We have this support level right here at 90, and I do believe that today we were down 2.3%. I do believe that we are probably going to continue going down. I might take some positions tomorrow. I still like this setup. The MACD and the TSI don't look great, to be honest, but this might continue going down. Again, you have this huge gap right here. There is low liquidity here, and liquidity here is not bad, to be honest. So that might present a little bit of resistance on the way down. But I do still believe that Starbucks has to continue going down, at least towards 90, or if you're shorting, best case scenario, towards that 200 SMA. Now, another thing that I guess would invalidate what I'm saying, if we are strictly looking into indicators and whatnot, is in the 35 SMA is crossing the 200 SMA. That's a bullish signal. And in that case, maybe what might end up happening is that you're going back to this level and then continue going up. I don't know. I'm just gonna wait for a little bit. I want to see what happens. I think I'm not gonna get any aggressive until Thursday. So yeah, that's all I have for today. Not sure if I'm gonna make a video tomorrow because I have some appointments and I have a really busy day coming up tomorrow. So if I make it, I make it. But anyways, thank you very much. Please subscribe and like. It would be greatly appreciated. If you have any suggestions for charts, just write them in the comments. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.